Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm your boy JKG. I want to say thank you for all the love and support on the videos. You guys are absolutely amazing. This one is going to be on the Caverns of Chaos floor 120. If you had trouble with floor 60, you are going to have even more trouble on floor 120. Everything's just ramped up to 11 on this one. I was stuck for quite a while. I had to use a menagerie of a team to get by it. And I'm going to go over pretty much the main issue that you're going to have here. So first and foremost, we're going to just kind of come in here. The team I have, this is not the team. You don't need this team to win, to beat this stage. So don't think you have to do it. The hard part is, you know, if you're having trouble and if you're having like that gear check and everything like that, you have to make sure you get to the boss. So you want to get to the boss with your main champions, whoever that's going to be, whether it's your main damage dealer and support, whatever it means, you got to get there. So that's the hardest. That's almost the hardest part. Once we get to the boss, I'm going to take it off auto and we'll go over what makes this boss so damn hard. So we should be getting there momentarily. If you only take one thing from this video, if you're having trouble with this boss, especially at 120, if you only take one nugget of information from this, Steel Divinity. Steel Divinity, that is what you are going to be looking for, whether it's a skill, whether it's a piece of gear like a weapon. Steal his divinity. When this ball gets glowing, you don't want to take a hit because he will wipe your entire team. He will wipe through I had my team wipe through Heimdall's incredibly massive shields. Like, it doesn't matter. He would wipe through Heimdall's shield plus the barrier that Anubis would put up. It was nasty. The reason for that is he has a passive. His damage is increased by 5% each ultimate cast. So every time he does an ultimate, he hits harder and harder and harder and harder. And he will one-shot your entire wave, your entire team with that. So that is something to keep an eye out for. He also has immunity to increase and decrease divinity cost abilities. So you can't use the cost versions of stealing divinity. You're not really stealing divinity with that, but he's also immune to the lock as well. He is going to reduce all damage coming from acid, blade, and bleed quite significantly by 75%. That is pretty nasty. He is also, at the start of the round, he activates his bounty. Each damaging hit increases the bounty by 1. When he is damaged by enemies that are under a vanish, the increase is doubled. So if you put a vanish on yourself or all allies, you are going to double that bounty increase. Enemies under a speed down or initiative down will not increase the bounty. Reduces the bounty by 2 for each 1% turn meter reduced on the boss. So that is something to keep an eye out there as well. Ancient Guardian, he is going, each time he receives damage, he's going to increase his divinity meter by 10. And 30% divinity attacks are going to ignore 30% of the target's defense. 60% of his divinity, he's going to increase the damage by 50%. So you can see, couple that with however many times he does that ultimate, that's going to be 5% more, 5% more, 5% more. I don't know if there's a cap to that, but it is nasty. His core ability, Shower of Gold, max 2. He's going to attack all enemies, 400% of his attack. He's going to place a stun if they're a defender, brawler, or invoker. He'll place a speed down if it's on a slayer or disruptor hero, and for every enemy inflicted with a stun, he's going to increase his divinity by 20. Every enemy inflicted with speed down, he's going to increase the divinity by 10. So he's just built up to make everything hit harder based off of his divinity, right? And you can kind of see the same vibes here. All enemies, 300% of his attack on his base skill. Attack down 3 on Slayer and Brawlers, defense down on Defenders and Invokers, accuracy down on Disruptors, and he's going to reduce the turn meter of the enemy with the highest turn meter equal to the divinity of the Guardian. So equal to his divinity, he's gonna reduce your turn meter. Then he's gonna place initiative down on, if the turn meter is fully depleted at that point, then he's going to place initiative down on all enemies for 2 turns. So you're going to have 2 turns where you're not building divinity, not near to the level that you would normally. That's going to be by 30% for initiative down 3, which is going to massively hurt the damage you're putting out. Now, again, like I said, the key to him, we're just going to hit auto here with this team. I have weapons on a couple of champions that steal the divinity. So you're going to kind of see that as his bar kind of comes up here, a couple of my heroes are going to hit, and you're going to see that bar go down. So ideally we would keep it at 0, right? So you can see it kind of climbing up just a little bit there, and then it goes down. It goes back down. So we want to keep this as low as humanly possible. That is, like I said, if you're only going to take one thing from this video, you take that and you run with it. After the run, I'll show you the piece of gear that I'm talking about that does this. So I believe there is also a passive that you can imprint on other weapons as well that will allow you to steal the divinity as well. We'll take a look at one of the heroes that you would use to imprint. You would extract their imprint from them, and we would take a look there. Actually, is Dagonet one of them? I don't remember if he does the divinity steal. No, he does not. He does a lock. But you can kind of see we were able to cruise through there. This is basically, for the most part, the squad that got me through floor 151, and they have been massively overgeared for this level compared to when I beat it earlier. But if we come to the hero screen, we're going to take a look at, I believe it's Anubis has the weapon. Yes, Anubis has this weapon right here. Ame no Nohoko. You can see here the stats really, I didn't care about the stats. I just went with the one that fit the most, get some accuracy, get a little more crit damage. But this right here, attacks steal 8% divinity. So every time a hero wearing this weapon hits, it is gonna reduce that divinity by 8%. So you want to have a couple of these on your champions, especially if they're multi-hitters. If they're multi-hitters, it seems to proc off of each hit, which is absolutely amazing. Now, if you don't have that weapon, which when I had to run through this, I did not have that weapon. So I had to use a different strategy. I had to use Anubis with 2 other little doggo heroes. We were using, where are they? We were using the Hound of Duat, who is the more imperative of the 2 dogs. The reason for this is, here we go. If Jackal or Anubis is on the team with Hound of Duat, so you could do this with Hound of Duat plus Anubis, or Hound of Duat plus Jackal. Jackal is a common hero. So you can pair them. You only need 2. You don't need all 3. I did it with all 3. I got to the boss with only 2, and it worked just fine. But if one of those 2 allies are on the team, then they're going to have a 50% chance to join the attack, and it hits twice. We don't steal anything there, but off of the secondary hit, we're going to place a shield, which is always going to help, right? You need some shields, because even if we steal all of his divinity, we're not tanking all of his turn meter away. So he is going to hit us once in a while, right? We're not able to just, true fear him and lock out all of his gears. He will hit us. So we do want some survivability. So a shield definitely helps. Now, his ultimate, he's going to give a retaliate on himself. So basically a little bit of a counterattack and a protect 2 on all other allies. So he's going to give like ally protection with a little bit of a counterattack on himself. He's also going to place intercept on them. He's also going to place intercept on Jackal or Anubis if they're on the same team. And then here's Hound of Duat's passive. So when attacking enemies, he places a barrier on this hero for 10% of the damage inflicted. Excuse me. And if I go back to his base attack, I say we're not stealing any divinity here. We are stealing his divinity. I didn't see that line for some reason. I thought it was in his passive. But each hit has 25% chance to steal 10% of his divinity. So we have a bigger percent of the divinity that we have a chance to steal. But also we have 2 hits that are going to do that. So we can potentially, if you put the Amino Nuoku on Hound of Duat, you could actually stack that, right? You could get the 8% from the weapon plus the two hits stealing, the 10%. So if you have multiple Amino Nuhokus, you're gonna want to use them. You're not gonna, like, you can take a weapon up to 5 stars and refine it all the way up if you want to. I would say with that particular weapon, you're gonna want to, it might be a little bit more beneficial just to at least get past stage 120. If you have that weapon, if you have 2 of that weapon, I would say leave them at level 10. Leave them at level 10. Put them on 2 different people, and then after you clear 120, then go ahead and move them into one weapon, make it a 2-star, and kind of start refining it and leveling the weapon up from that point. And let's see if we have a Jackal on the squad at the moment. I do not believe we do. But Jackal is a common dog variant of the Hound of Duat. He's just a hound without, he's basically the same character model. He just doesn't have all the bling, right? But he's gonna do some speed down, which is really clutch on the boss if you are not able to, because the speed down is gonna, it's not going to act like a turn meter steal, but it's going to do a lot more work there for you. So that is something to keep in mind with this boss. Again, one takeaway, if you only take one thing away, steal that divinity. You have to steal that divinity. He is going to just wipe your entire squad if you don't. So those are 2 ways to do that. And hopefully this helps you guys if you're stuck at 120. If there's something else you want to see, definitely let me know in the comments below. If there's another hero that that steals divinity, I believe, did somebody say Scotty steals divinity? 2 hits with a freeze, initiative down. 2 hits with the free, or 3 random enemies. Chance to place freeze. Debuffs place stacked by there. Maybe they were talking about, I was in somebody's stream and they were talking about using Scotty versus that boss, but it looks like we're using speed down and then, oh, here we go. When attacking enemies under freeze, reduce the target's divinity by 10%. Also increases this hero's divinity by 10%. So yeah, Scotty has a passive which you can imprint on another weapon. So say you have a different weapon, you could actually imprint this on that weapon to make it act like the Ame no Nuhoku. That is a tongue twister for me to say. But yeah, if there's another hero out there other than Hound of Duat and Scotty that you know of that does some divinity steal in their kit, let me know in the comments below. Who did you use to get past 120? Remember, if you're struggling on 120, you only have to get past it the one time. And then once you get past it the one time, you're off to the races from that point. And you will see progression. You're going to start getting, it seems like you start getting a little bit more gear, a little better gear drops from that point on as well. You start getting more legendary weapons, more legendary. I got more legendary heroes after clearing 120, so it's definitely a bit of a checkpoint on the route to 151. So if you did like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload videos and everything. But that's gonna do it for this one, guys. You have, as always, been amazing. I'm JKG. Love you guys. Peace.